So, Eric, welcome to the people of Utah.
Dude, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I'm excited. Let's start with where you're from and what you're doing with us right now in Utah.
Yeah, I'm from here. I grew up in Salt Lake City. Um, and I came here like 8 or 9 years ago for school.
To Provo.
Yeah, yeah. And then I saw your episode with Steele. Cool guy. Dude, I listened to it twice because it was really touching, you know? Yeah. Steele's a nice guy. And anyways, that's how I knew about this show. So
Yeah, dude, still awesome. How'd you know Steele?
so I worked in the coffee shop in downtown Provo. It's called Jabba Junkie. I don't know if you heard of it, but he's basically a regular there, has been over the years. And so that's how I know Steele.
Do you make friends with a lot of customers, a lot of like regulars, or
Yeah, yeah, not like we're not like tight, but I'm friendly with everyone with the coffee shop. And I still work there part-time, so I see him sometimes, so
what else did you excite top show?
I'm a tattoo artist, man. Yeah, I've been tattooing for like 2.5 years, also in downtown Provo. And that's kind of a strange experience tattooing in downtown.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Just cause I don't know, I didn't think people were that interested in tattoos like around here. Actually, like 2 years ago, I never tattooed any Mormons. Like in the beginning, but like 2 years ago, like I started to get more like Mormon clients or BYU students, and they told me that the church, I guess, like changed the stance on tattoos.
Okay.
Like I guess is more personal choice because I think before it was kind of more of like a hard line in just saying like, don't get tattoos.
Right. Okay. So business is going well for
Yeah, this is doing good, yeah.
right on. Okay.
Yeah, and I tattoo with other people because tattooing is expensive. Like it's kind of like an expensive hobby. But I have a studio with some friends, and yeah, we've been there for 2.5 years. So this is good right now.
So how did you learn to become a tattoo artist?
Dude, I always liked tattoos since I was a kid. But I didn't ever think I was gonna get any, and then I started getting tattoos, and I'm 30 now, so I got into tattooing like I think I was 27, and I just got sober from alcohol when I was 27, and I needed like something to do, and I didn't think I could do that because I had thought about it before, but it just seemed like too many hoops to jump through. And then after I got out of treatment, um, I was like, I'm just gonna do it, dude. I don't care what obstacles are in the way. And I asked some friends, and that's how I found my mentor, who was originally tattooing at the studio I have now. He's not there anymore, but he taught me to tattoo fast, like 5 months. Like we did like a 5-month apprenticeship, but it was more like school, like class or something, because I would come every day into the studio and we would literally sit down across from each other and talk about tattoos, and then we'd tattoo on fake skins. And so, yeah, it was about 5 months, and then I just took off running what I was able to, smaller tattoos, and that just kind of snowballed into today.
So why do you like being a tattoo artist so much?
I just like drawing on people, and I don't know. I just always thought tattoos were cool, I guess. And to be honest with you, even like most tattoo artists will tell you, like, "Oh yeah, I've been drawing since I was a kid," but not me. Like I didn't grow up drawing or anything like that, but I just thought tattoos were cool, and yeah, I just like drawing on people, man. And being self-employed is great. It has its pros and cons for sure. But I make my own schedule. I tattoo when I want.
And it's like running your own business too, right? Because you gotta get clients.
Yeah.
Advertise.
Yes, dude. You gotta be like, first of all, you gotta be the tattoo artist. You gotta do consultations, social media manager, which is another thing. And then like if you own your business, then you gotta do the business side of everything, which like I kind of just learned through trial and error, basically.
Do you ever get kind of nervous doing something like permanent to someone and making a mistake, or are you kind of over that?
Yeah, dude, I get nervous still at the beginning of every tattoo, like, because you got to imagine, like, when you put the stencil on the skin, like, you have the design on your iPad, and then you have a stencil on the skin, and you're like, okay, I'm supposed to, like, make this look like a tattoo,
Yeah.
And, yeah, I have nerves, like, not bad, but, like, at the beginning of every tattoo, I feel a little bit anticipation.
Okay.
But, yeah, dude, when you get into it, like, I don't know, it's meditative. I don't know if you have any activity you do where you're not like, there's no thinking involved in that, you're just doing it, and then you check the clock and it's like 4 or 5 hours later and you're done.
You're just like in the flow state, really like in the zone.
Yeah, dude. You have to be, because it takes so much focus. And at the same time, usually you're talking to the client,
Dude, that's true with like all kinds of work. I feel like I did sales for a little bit, and there's totally like a time where you're like really in the zone and everything just comes easier. And I work right now as a data analyst and stuff. It's like there's times where like it's just like I don't know, so hard when you're so scattered, but when you really get into it, and I don't know, I wish we could do it more often. It was just easier to get that flow state.
Yeah, well,
It's at.
dude, when you do sales, then probably like you talk to so many people, and maybe like the first couple times you did it, you're like, what the hell do I say, you know? But then, you know, if you do it for so long, then it's just like, I don't know, it's just like taking a walk. You no habit to it.
You don't have to pick as hard about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
That's cool. Do you remember like the first person who came to you and paid you for a tattoo? What was it? And
Okay, so like before I did my first tattoo, like in the studio under my mentor, I was like already kind of tattooing a little bit. Like I had tattooed with the machine at my house a whole bunch of times, and to be honest, they're bad tattoos. I don't even like to look at them now, you know.
yeah, okay.
Like on my friends, you know, and my roommates, and then even years before that, I was doing what's it called, like stick and poke. I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah, the stick and poke, and but yeah, then I did my first tattoo in the studio. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was a girl named Nani, like one of my roommate's sisters. I think we did like a flower on her back or something. You know, it wasn't that bad. So, yeah.
That's solid. I don't know. It sounds like it'd be, like you said, it's the first time you're kind of getting into it. It could be sketchy, but for like your very first time, I'm sure you're pretty nerdy.
Dude, the first like 2 or 3 months of tattooing, like I was always scared, like, you know, because you also are learning how to like host a client basically, and you know, put the stencil on, and there's a whole bunch of things you got to do, like the consent form, put the stencil on, and you got to make sure that that looks good. Then you got to do the tattoo, and you're like, got to make them feel comfortable the whole time, you know?
Okay, yeah, I like it. So from Salt Lake originally, now you came to Provo for school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I moved. I guess it was 9 years ago. I was 21, but when I moved here for school, I was kind of back and forth because I would be here for the semester, and my parents had moved here to Woodland Hills too, so I was staying with them. And then, in my mind, I kind of still thought like, no, my hometown is Salt Lake, and so I would move back in the summer and just work and like live with my sister or like a friend or something like that. So, yeah, and and then I didn't finish school. I went to UBU, and I did really good when I was there, dude. I was just telling him that I studied communications. So back then I was into writing, you know, I wanted to write. And I did write a little bit, like I did an internship for City Weekly, and I wrote for the school newspaper, so I was doing good in school. But I think I did 2 years, and then I just dropped out. And the next, like, honestly, from like 22 to 26 is a little bit like a blur. Because all my 20s, basically, I was involved in drugs and alcohol. And that kind of, so for those years when I was really involved in that, I know what I was doing. Like I was just working, hanging out with friends, running around, but it's kind of hazy, you know, like I don't have like solid memory, or I don't remember what it felt like during that time.
Very interesting. Okay.
And
So what made you adopt that lifestyle and then leave that lifestyle?
dude, because, you know, I grew up in a family, like I have good parents, and like I knew the dangers of drugs and alcohol, you know. But I don't know, I guess like when I was 19 and 20, I had left the church, and I started, I wasn't like a big party person, but I liked hanging out with my friends a lot, you know, and yeah, I would just do drugs and alcohol with friends, and it's like such a long story, man, but that kind of snowballed into like a giant mess, and I didn't really understand what's happening. And it wasn't until honestly 3 years ago when I got into recovery and got sober that like I learned that, you know, there's a name for everything that was happening, you know, and there's a treatment plan. And that was really a blessing to learn, because and I hope that like anyone listening to this will understand, like a lot of people are struggling in drugs and alcohol secretly, you know. It's not a moral defect, because I used to think like oh, I'm like such a piece of shit if I can't stop this behavior that's obviously damaging for me. And yeah, it took so long to understand that what was happening to me, you know. Addiction still exists in my life, you know, because I always say like it's in your mind, and then it comes out as substance abuse, which is called substance abuse disorder, you know. And every 2 years, like when I got sober from something, it would kind of slowly evolve into some other drug or something like that, or some other bad habit. Interesting. But yeah, finding recovery was really great because then I understood that it wasn't my fault.
So what prompted you to enter recovery?
Dude, things just got so bad. Like, life just life and drugs and alcohol is like it's just the most miserable. Like, and you don't know if there's people out there dealing with drugs and alcohol, it looks like they're enjoying life like everybody else, but maybe like privately, it's just miserable because you're sick all the time. If you're addicted, you're physically dependent. You're sick. You're sick when you're using. You're sick when you're not using or drinking. And alcohol was bad for me, man. Like, it started off just like partying, and then I like slowly compromised on my values because it used to be like drinking is fine, just like no drinking on the weekdays, obviously not drinking during the day. And then like over time I started to compromise on those values, and that's how it turned into a big problem where I had to drink every day. If I didn't drink every day, I would get sick. And then I would drink, not remember what happened that night, and the next day I couldn't remember anything after like 4 p.m. I'd get home from work and immediately start drinking.
Well, dude, thank you for opening up about all this stuff. This is super helpful and make it inspiring for people out there. This is really quick.
Dude, I hope so because that was like I only really had like one topic on mind today to talk about. If we could talk about a lot of stuff, and I've had a lot of stories, but that was the one that because it's been such a big deal in my life, and my girlfriend understands this, and she's been really supportive. But yeah, anyone struggling with that, like it takes a lot of humility and honesty to admit when you need help. Because I had to detox in the hospital twice and go to treatment centers, and when that happens, you have to put your life on hold, and no one wants to do that. I'm super high functioning, dude. Like, I can use drugs and alcohol and be very, like, busy and do a lot of things. So when I got sober and I had to stop, and that sobriety kind of happened, it'd be like on and off. Yeah, life stops. You have to stop working. You have to focus on that, and it should take so much effort, man. But I'm kind of like, if it's like this, I'm kind of like on the side of it. So
Yeah. No, I get that. That's way cool. That's way cool to hear. Way impressive, man. A lot of people, I don't know, once you're stuck in that loop, like it's like the natural thing your body wants to do is not get out of that loop. And it takes like I would imagine a ton of effort.
dude, so much because your body gets addicted and your mind gets addicted, and I don't know what's worse because both are pretty bad. When you detox, you're detoxing in both ways, mentally and physically. Probably the mental is worse, but it really depends because I always say, like, with alcohol, definitely the physical addiction to alcohol is much worse than any drug I've tried before. It's there with drugs too, and then with drugs, it's the mental dependence. You have to rehabilitate from that because basically you're constantly used to avoiding discomfort, anything uncomfortable. So when you get into recovery, it's like learning how to put like one foot in front of the other. Like, honestly, it makes you kind of like a baby. You'll be crying all the time and think of my life's miserable. And then also you're physically detoxing. So maybe you're shaking or you like get the flu or something. Yeah, it sucks, dude.
Just like eat up your body and your brain, you imagine. That's wild.
Yeah, man.
So with your family, you mentioned from Salt Lake, your parents went to Woodland Hills, you a sister. Are you still close with your family?
Yeah, I do.
You had to cut that.
Dude, my family's great. I'm tight with them. I have sisters. I have two sisters and a brother. And we all grew up in Salt Lake together. And I don't know if you know Currens, or I don't even know if you're from here, but Currens, which is near West Valley, it's a small township. And dude, I loved growing up there. It was great. I was tight with my family, and I'm tight with the neighborhood. And my mom's from Mexico, so like going back a little bit, she was her siblings were probably in their teens when my grandparents, my abuelitos, they came from Mexico. Like to be close to the church, but also to start a better life. I'm so grateful for that because I still have a lot of like extended family and cousins in Mexico. And actually, when I was a kid and we went to Mexico, like I was a little shocked because, I have like we were living like middle class life, but going to Mexico and seeing some extended relatives, bro, they were living in like mud houses, like dirt houses.
That's cool. You can see that as a kid, man. Because I feel like dude, just living in America and Utah, like said, middle class life. It's like you have no idea how the rest of the world live, how fortunate you are. And so it's cool that you got to learn that at a much younger age than a lot of people learn.
So yeah, dude, it makes me want to complain less, dude, because someone has a worse than you. Yeah, so they came from Mexico, and and they all found families here, and so I grew up in Currens with my family, and then graduated from Cottonwood High School. Well, I say Cottonwood, but actually it was Ings Academy. And thanks to my parents, like, man, I so much to be grateful for them for, because they they taught me good values and good mental habits. And my mom and dad worked really hard, and they taught us to accomplish and succeed. And my mom was also really focused on good education. So I went to some public school, but mostly chartered schools. So the high school I graduated from was a charter school called Ames Academy.
I know all about that, dude. I went to a charter school too.
Oh, really?
Chewy High School at Spanish Fork. So.
Oh, really? Which one?
ALA.
Oh, dude, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's.
Did you have to wear a uniform? Yeah, dude. I wore a uniform through like elementary and junior high, and I hated it.
What's funny is I was the guinea pig, dude, because I'm the oldest of 6 kids in my family, and my parents, they're like, let's throw in a charter school. And then they're like, no, that sucks. And they said the rest, my other 5 siblings, all went to public school. It's just really funny. They tried it out on me, but then I had already made so many friends, so I stayed. Yeah, all the rest of my family all went to like Spanish Fork Law School.
Did your siblings have a choice if they wanted to go, or your parents just
let it point? I think they did have a choice. I feel like I have a choice. I feel like it was like,
it's because you're the oldest.
Right. Well, it's also like, I don't know how I feel about having like tell my 4th grader where like my 4th grader's opinion on where I want to go to school doesn't count, because you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
but when you're like a teenager, then it does count. So I think when I was in junior high or whatever, if I wanted to leave, they would let me for sure.
Yeah,
but then I had already been there for a few years,
and your parents were there and all that.
But it's just so fun. You went to a charter school too, and that was my parents. Like, they put me there, and everybody else did. It was funny,
dude. It's kind of crazy because so I went to 2 charter schools. Like, one was like elementary / junior high, and that was more of, I don't know the word to describe it, but like the type where you wear uniforms.
Yeah.
They're all about values, and they really did have a good education. Like, maybe there were some things I didn't like about it. I still don't like about it, but then when I went to Ames High School, it looked like a public school, like regular. It felt like a regular public school, but there was a charter, and the teachers were really tight. They gave like really I don't know if this is the right thing to say, like a liberal education. Yeah, I did so bad in high school. I was not focused. I didn't pay attention, and yeah, I mean, I played some sports, but I wasn't like too much of sports.
Okay, gotcha.
And
what other hobbies of interest do you have then?
Dude, I got a lot. Like, playing guitar has kind of been my main thing for the past 10 years. I still think I enjoy playing guitar more than tattooing, and I'm definitely better playing the guitar than tattooing. I'm good at tattooing too, but like, I don't know, the guitar's like my baby.
That's sweet, dude. What kind of easy like to play?
Any kind, but people ask me that question, and I'm not really a cover guy. Like, I don't say cover music.
Okay. You write your own stuff?
Yeah, I would write my own stuff, but like the last couple of years, I quit singing because I used to sing, like play my guitar and sing songs and stuff. But like last couple of years, I just figured out like you could do so much on the guitar, you don't even need to sing anything. And so I would just, I don't know, any guitar player knows this, where you just tinker around for a long time. And, if you get good at the guitar, you can tinker around and everything you're putting is a song. Somehow it's a song.
Dude, you're so artistic. You're so because you're like went to school for writing, and you're an artist, and you play guitar. I'm the exact opposite, dude. I'm like the worst handwriting. I'm not that artistic. I'm super like, I don't know, data analytical, like businessy.
Dude, well, that's probably what makes you good at being a podcast host.
Maybe. I'm good at what I do. You're good at what you do. But well, I should say here,
I never thought about it like that, but I just tried a lot of things. Like, maybe people who like they're really not an expert at one thing, but they're a little bit good at everything. And I feel like I've been a little bit good at everything.
A Renaissance man.
Yeah, you could say that. Because I have tried a lot of things. Like, I've seen myself going through different phases. Like, I looked like a tattoo artist. I'm aware of that. But I was like, once I was like a gym bro, basically, and then I was like a hockey guy, and then I was like a musician, like a music guy, and I'm in like a church boy once, and so I had just been through so many phases till today.
That's cool, dude. How many tattoos do you have? Do you know?
Yeah, I haven't counted. Like,
yeah.
Like I have them, all over basically.
Yeah.
And actually, probably tonight when I get home, I'm gonna shave my head bald because on Saturday I'm getting the whole back.
Oh, what do you get,
dude? Like, it's so simple, dude. It's like a giant sun, just a big black sun with like one background. Yeah, just all over the back of my skull, dude. So I'm pretty nervous about that, but Yeah, I never counted. I have tattoos everywhere. My legs are a little empty, but
Yeah. Have you ever given any to yourself, or have you before?
yeah, I have. But I'm like to get with anyway. Yeah, it's hard to focus on doing a good tattoo on myself. You know, like when I'm doing it for a client, dude, I can zone the fuck in. But
Yeah.
like on myself, and I've done some bad tattoos on myself, so I don't even like to do.
Well, plus extra stimulation because it's you're feeling it happen to you. So it's like, I
Any tattoos? Dude, I'll give you one.
come to you. Yeah, it's enough.
Dude, after we're done with this, I'll give you my card. Come to my studio.
Just imagine getting the logo of my podcast just massive on my chest.
Do it.
It's a
Dude. Dude, I'm plugging myself today, dude. This is my shop is
Oh, I didn't even realize, dude. Now it's a sick hoodie. That's your own.
dude. I made this last night. I mean, the hoodie's just a regular hoodie, and like I don't know if you recognize this, but this is like bleach.
Okay.
You know, like
Underground Ink. That's the name of your.
yeah. That's my studio that I work with my friends at Underground Ink. And it's in downtown Provo. Like if you know where Station 22 is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's called the Underground. You know, like it's like a cave down there, dude. But there's other musicians and artists, so that's where we have a beautiful studio.
Dude, say Provo actually does have a lot of super like speakeasies, like low key places. Like there's
Yeah.
it's on like University. I forget what it's at, but if you're on the main road, there's like the temple, and you're going like a block north of that.
Yeah.
It's like some place you can walk underneath, and there's like a ton, like there's like a couple restaurants down there. You know what I'm talking about?
We might be talking about the same place where my studio is at. They just call it the Underground. Most people know of the mocktail bar, the Social, that's down.
Yeah, so yeah, the socials where I've been. It's the same place.
It's the same place. So if you've been there, like that place is cool, man. But the rest of the place, it all looks like that, where it's like
Yeah.
stone. It looks like a cave, dude. It's like
Oh, they lie all everywhere stuff, man. They probably built that like.
dude. I learned that they built it a long time ago.
Yeah.
You have to fact check this, but it's like an old train station, dude. That it should. I guess that's why it's called Station 22. That restaurant, because that was Station 22. So if you go down there, like you see like boulder walls and brick walls, and if you look at the brick walls, you can even tell that you're a little bit above ground what it used to be a long time ago, because you in the stone you could still see the archway of the brick and stuff in some of the walls. Yeah. And so if you've been to the Social, it's kind of a labyrinth down there, dude. There's like hallways that go every direction.
How big? Or not much, but I've been to I think the Social or some other restaurant down there.
Dude, it's so neat, and like I've been hanging out down there for years, but I feel like just the past 2 years, especially since the Social moved down there, it's been catching on. I see a lot of people down there now, and they're mostly just like looking around.
Do you think does your business grow mostly from social media or foot traffic down there that's growing a lot, or
not so much from foot traffic, because like okay, this is a big difference. Like I have a tattoo studio, not a tattoo shop, you know, because if it was a shop, we'd have like business hours on the door, and they presumably you can I'll walk in, you know, like we'll still take any walk-ins. Like people will call me from Googling, you know.
okay.
But so what we do appointment only, because all the artists who work there, we work independently. We work with each other, but independently. So all of them are bringing their own clients that they know. Everyone's bringing their own clients, so it literally is a private studio.
So the biggest revenue. I get their own client.
Yeah, so like, you know, I handle all my own clients, and I just bring them, and we'll do a tattoo, and then shut down the business. There you go. We just come and go like that. But yeah, if we're tattooing and people want to come by and see, and you'll come. And
How about like referrals? Do you get a lot of business from like
that
who are happy and bring their friends?
That's like the number one way I get more business. Like some people will call me from Google, and sometimes just like word of mouth, like, you know, I'm talking to you, you might come get a tattoo or something, but mostly client referrals. So, and that's why I do a really good job. And by the way, like, I just want to say this, like, I think with tattooing, I'm really big on values. Like, I want to be honest with people and have integrity of business, because actually there's tattoo artists out there who are not being honest with their clients, or they're not having a lot of integrity. Because they want their money. Not everything is a good idea for a tattoo. You know,
so they're not really hitting a consultant of what they think is good.
Exactly.
Like, if you're gonna pay me, I'll do what you want me to do.
Yeah. I mean, they're selling themselves. You know, they're trying to get all the business that they can. But I don't know how they sleep at night if they do a bad tattoo on somebody, or a tattoo that they know you're probably gonna regret that or something.
So, do people come to you with like, "Hey, here's an idea, help me fake through it," or do people come with like, "I know exactly what I want, just be this"? Which do you get?
All like different. Like that happens a lot. Sometimes people already come and they they have like an image or something, or a couple images, and then I'll help them from that point, or or we'll talk about what their ideas are. We do a consultation,
Okay.
wherever they're at and their decision to get a tattoo, that I help them take it from there into actually making an appointment, getting a tattoo. But
Very cool, man. Cool. I had no idea how the whole world works, so that's interesting.
I think it's different for everyone. Like a tattoo shop, they deal with their clients too, but they get a lot of walk-ins.
That makes sense. Yeah, you have a brick and mortar business, so
Yeah, we don't have a storefront.
No, I'm saying like a lot of other places they get the walk-ins for that, but you're more super customized, super like focus on each client.
Yeah, because we can't do walk-ins anyways, but like we don't have like a front door that goes to outside. Yeah, like we actually have to give special directions to our clients if they never been there. Like send them a fucking paragraph. Here's how you find this place.
Instruction, dude. And it's funny is following instructions that like way tricky. I mean, even like eating meat here today, it was kind of hard. We had to go back and forth to get you. So like I can't imagine going down to where your studio is. Like,
dude, I almost got lost here, but like I'm a little familiar with this place because when I was younger, I went to a BYU Education Week. I don't know if they still do it, but
they do. Yeah, I never been, but they do.
Yeah, but otherwise, I've lived in Provo for years, and I love Provo. And dude, I know lots of parts of Provo, but I call this like BYU land, and then I never grew BYU land. So,
what do you think? I mean, based out of like living in Salt Lake for so long and living in Provo for so long, pros and cons, compare and contrast, living in Salt Lake, living in Provo.
Yeah, dude. Well, honestly, like growing up in Salt Lake, a lot of people talk smack on Provo.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had that in my head coming over here, like, oh, it's so boring and lame. But like, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that there's a type here in Utah County or Provo. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but like, you seen the Mormon Housewives? I'm like, yeah, that's the type. And so I think Utah County is a little bit less diverse than most other places, especially Salt Lake.
100%.
It could use a little more diversity, to be honest with you, but that doesn't bother me. I love Provo, dude. I really love Provo because whoever you are, if you come here, you'll find your group. Find the people you like to hang out with, and that nothing bothers me here in Provo, dude, because I just hang out with my friends and hang around with people I like and do the things I like to do here. But I love Provo. Salt Lake is not so different from Provo, but yeah, man.
Okay. What would you say like is your favorite and least favorite thing about living in Utah in general?
Yeah, like least favorite, it's not a big deal, but like I said, the lack of diversity, a little bit can get old sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't really have a lot of shit like that shit to say about Provo. I really love it here. I have a positive mindset, dude. I think wherever you are, you gotta have positive mindset up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Provo, but just like Utah in general. Like.
Yeah. I love growing up by the mountains, man. I take it for granted because my cousins from Boise, like they'll come sometimes and all they talk about is the mountains, and that's really, I live with my girlfriend in South Provo, and we live like right under like a foothill basically. And so anytime you look out the window, dude, it's just like towering mountains. Yeah, dude, I really love Utah. Then I love how you go down south, we get the Red Rock. Yeah, I spent a lot of time when I was younger, like traveling down south. Camping, yeah, not mountain bikes, but yeah, like camping and just like hanging around, dude.
I was just down in Moab like a week or two ago, mountain biking. So
really?
It's so on that.
It is type. Is it cold?
Actually, no. Like the mornings, like when we first were leaving, like 8 a.m., like, oh man, this is cold. Then like by the 9 a.m., like we're like hot and sweating. Like, so it was just the time I was there. It was like, I think 70s is like perfect weather for us, but sunny. Yeah, I used to camp a ton when I was younger. I used to love camping, but I have been so long.
Like you, I grew up camping, and then for some reason, past couple of years, I camped a little bit, but it's not that much.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's true. Taking ounce for granted, dude. Have you heard of Dave Portnoy?
Oh, that name sounds so familiar. She's on the internet somehow.
Yeah, he like Barstool Sports.
Okay,
yeah. He like the pizza reviews and stuff. Anyway, so he came to Utah, like a month ago to cover the University of Utah versus the Texas Tech game. Like Utah High loved Utah. And then he came back like a week or two ago, the BYU versus Utah game. Yeah, that he was staying in Provo for a few days, and he was posting about how much he loved the mountains. He's like, "Look at this view of my hotel. This is like not a painting. This is real." and it's just the mountains I see every day.
Yeah,
But then to your point, it's like, dude, I take it for granted. Like a lot of people, like these are like world class, like sick mountains.
they're beautiful, dude. They look like a painting, you know. And my favorite thing about the mountains is like, you know how like in the evening time when like the valley's going into the shadow, but then the only thing catching the sun is mountains.
Yeah.
And I think they call, I don't know if it's right, the Alpine Glow, maybe.
Or I've heard it called golden hour.
Golden hour, yeah, it's like to say, yeah, dude. Did I love that? Well, that's like sick. Yeah, dude, it's like unbelievable.
Do you ever like snowboard or ski or?
No, not really. Like I did some snowboarding with my friends in Salt Lake. We're in snowboarding, but yeah, I did last time I snowboarded. I ate shit so hard.
So I only been 3 times in my life. First time, broke my wrist. Second time, broke the same wrist again. Third time, I was like super, I don't know, cautious. Because I'm like, I don't want to break something again. And so I was so cautious. It wasn't even that.
Dude, you shouldn't go snowboarding.
I know, right? I'm always so good, dude.
If you go again, something bad's gonna happen. You're gonna break your wrist.
I know, I probably will. That's what the data says.
Yeah, dude. But I love you, Tony. I have nothing bad to say about it, man. I mean, I could if you make me think. Cause
what's like your favorite place to go in Utah?
dude, I don't know if I have like a place. I always say like, oh, that's my favorite. Like Capitol Reef is great.
I've never been.
Dude, it's so great. It's an underrated national park, and the national parks have gotten so busy. Zion's beautiful, but I hate how it's like going to Disneyland now. If you go to something,
Yeah, oh yeah.
that's the way it is. But yeah, Capitol Reef is, and that's kind of like just in our backyard. Like honestly, it's probably like barely 3 hours from here. So
Yeah.
I like that place. And then like sometimes I go to Bear Lake. Bear Lake is great.
I've never been there either, dude. So bad.
You eat too.
My wife, like all of her, so my wife from Layton, I have Spanish Fork here, and so I guess they're an hour closer to Bear Lake, so everybody has been to Bear Lake up there, and even Dak must have been to Bear Lake, and so whenever I'm like, yeah, I've never been. Everyone like, what do you mean? It was like, have you had those like milkshakes at the gas station or whatever? And I'm like, no, but I've heard all about it.
You need to have them, dude. The raspberry shakes over there. That's what I eat.
That's why. Do you like, go boating out there, or what do you do?
Camping. Like I'll go with my girlfriend's family. And well, recently we went to. We didn't go to Bear Lake this year. We went to Lake Powell like a couple weeks ago.
Never been there either, dude. So
Didn't
always under a rock. I don't know. I told you, I've been.
You've been other places.
I've
right?
been to some national parks, but like the past 5 you've been to, I haven't been Capitol Reef or Bear Lake or Lake Powell. But
Yeah, I do go other places. They're great.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh man, that's cool. Based on your life experiences and stuff, how would you define success? What does it mean to live a successful life?
To be happy, bro. Like I had it in my head when I was younger. Well, like I'm not saying something bad about my parents or the culture of my family, but they did put some garbage in my head, maybe by accident, or maybe I just took it the wrong way about achievement. You know, because I kind of came up in me personally, I came up feeling a little bit like it was strict growing up from my mother, you know, and religious. A lot, you know, because we were pretty religious growing up, and also there was a lot of expectations for religion to go on a mission, all this stuff. But the combination of all these things really put it in my head to be, you know, worthy. No one told me this, but it came across like to be worthy, you got to accomplish and succeed. So even when I was in high school, I thought like, oh yeah, the game plan is like finish college by 24, hook up a good job, start making money, and you know, get a family or whatever, get a house. And because of my experience with addiction and substance use, it has been, you know, teaching me a lot, you know, how to see things the right way, you know.
Yeah.
Health is wealth, definitely.
Yeah.
If you have good health, then don't matter if you don't have money. Money's nice, dude, and I wish I had more money. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just a state of mind. You got to make your mind a peaceful place to live, and that's what I've learned from all those years.
That is fantastic advice. It's a great perspective. I think a lot of people already have that same attitude where it's like, dude, I feel like I should be further along in life than I am. And so many people think like that unnecessarily, right? Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? Why do you have to have these things done by this age? Like, it's okay to like experience life, dude, and like live. Like, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, or to drop out, fall flat on your face for a couple of years, even that's part of the path to it. And also,
that's what it takes to learn. That's where you get. Oh.
But yeah, to make your mind a peaceful place to live is like all I have to say about that. Because, you know, if you're happy, you know, if you're happy and you have peace in your mind, then vertically grow. You could have like break your legs, dude. And there's people who are in bad situations and they're still happier.
Oh, people said when you like, visited Mexico and you were a kid stuff and you saw like different way of living, you're like, oh dang.
Yeah.
They didn't think, oh dang. They're like, I got what I need.
Yeah.
We're so materialistic, you do. Like our happiness depends on like these physical things or these accomplishments, like you said. And a lot of other people, like outside the states, like kind of figured out, or it's like that's not it, bro.
Yeah. Well, here especially in Utah County, like and it's not a bad thing. Actually, it's a good thing. There's a lot of young people here, obviously, and they're such high achievers, dude. It's impressive, dude, that everyone like you with this podcast and everyone else who is starting businesses. I think it's pretty obvious that Utah County is big on business, small business, especially like in Provo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of high achievers here, dude, and that's great. And they're I hope they're happy too.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for society. That's only great if you have the name of the mindset. Like, I don't know, like in a way where you're not comparing yourself and you're not feeling jealousy. Like you can genuinely be happy for someone achieving something and understanding that someone else achieving something does not take away anything from you. A lot of times people don't get that right. They think that because somebody else can like do something awesome, it's like somehow taking away. Like there's no like, I don't know. I think scarcity mindset is what I'm thinking of. Versus like abundance mindset. So like, yes, there's enough love to go around. If someone finds love and you don't find love yet, doesn't mean that there's not enough love out there for you. Yeah, say with money, success, everything. It's like it's really hard to not compare yourself to other people, but to understand like, oh, awesome! I'm really happy for that guy who's crushing it at these things.
Yeah, I do it, especially if you're like plugged in a lot to like Instagram and like scrolling, dude. That can get your mind rotten because that even happened to me a lot before. I have to watch out how much I'm scrolling because you don't realize, but maybe you're like, subconsciously comparing yourself to what you see. And yeah, and actually, especially with tattoo artists, you only see what they post, bro. But like, and it's not all it's so perfect and great all the time. But when artists are posting all the time, they make it seem like business is booming all the time, and it's not booming all the time.
The very Tuesday. No, yeah, that's true. That's fair. I always said social media is great as long as you can understand what it is. And like what you're seeing is not exactly reality, right? Yeah, no, that's to your point, man. Very interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that a lot. If you could go back in time to a younger version of yourself and give yourself some advice, what point in time would you go to? What would you say?
Probably when I was a kid, dude. In my booth in my studio, I keep a picture of me from when I was a kid there, and it helps me think about myself a lot. Like, you're still the same person, but I don't know, like probably I felt like all the time growing up, all the way through high school, and even most of the last 10 years for me, it had big problem with like low self-worth and low self-esteem, So if I could go back, anything, I don't know what would be the exact words, but anything I would say would have to do with like to give myself encouragement, and I don't know, tell myself to relax a little bit. You don't have to, you don't have to achieve so much or be perfect, because I always had high expectations in my head,
Yeah, peace.
So I'd probably tell myself something like, give yourself a little bit more love,
Yeah.
And it's not fucking race.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that makes sense why you'd say that, because you said you always felt the need to like achieve and stuff. So that's kind of why you feel like it's a race. It's like you're not achieving at a young age. So
yeah, and dude, even though I was wrapped up in substances, I still achieved a lot, dude. I've had cool jobs. I've had great jobs, dude. Great friend groups and like wild experiences, bro. A lot of great stuff in my 20s happening. So us here.
So you mentioned your mom was from Mexico, right? Was a teenager?
So,
man, you know what I heard is that it's actually, like I said, if everybody has this idea of like I need to achieve things, but I've heard it's especially a lot more for people whose parents come to America from another country. And I don't know what the phenomenon is. I forget what it's called, but there's like a whole like true crime case I listened to about this idea and stuff. I think it's just because like, I know parents, they want the best for their kids and they don't always know the best way to communicate that and get the idea out there. And so it's like, I don't know, like the parent might sacrifice everything to come to America to give you this great opportunity. and it's a total weight if you don't, whatever. So
Yeah,
hit it extra hard.
dude, have you heard of something called black excellence? Like, it's like a phenomenon or something. I don't know what to categorize it, but like, you know, it's like when black people like they have this culture of compensating for the fact of like how they might be viewed in society, and so they have black excellence, which is like people are high achieving. They get really good grades. They do well in academics. They get good jobs, and there might be a culture in their family to teach them that way. You know, maybe at a compensation for how they might be viewed.
Interesting.
And I would say that I came from the like Hispanic excellence, you know, because my when my grandparents came here, they put a lot of values on their kids. So my mom and my tios and tias, you know, and so when we were growing up, it was like, you know, we came here from a different country, and then they all went to college and got married and stuff. So they put, you know, a lot of expectation as well on me, my siblings, my cousins, to achieve very well and to have good manners and be polite and do everything with excellence. Bro, I can't tell you how many times growing up it would do things with excellence. You know, always do things with excellence. And I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, that's fucking lame. But like now I'm an adult, and you know, I had a lot of jobs. I used all those skills to.
A lot of that. Very interesting. That's very cool.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I heard that phenomenon, but it makes sense. It's along the same lines. And it's a lot harder for people who, like, yeah, come in and their parents. Did it be interesting to see what it's like when, like, you and I are the older generation and we have the kids and, like, we have kids in their 20s and stuff? Because it's like,
Yeah.
I think this is a very common, I don't know, something that a lot of people our age have noticed. And I wonder, like, how these people are going to, like, I don't know, influence our kids and what they're going to think about things. Are they going to think that, like, all my parents were too easy on being too soft because we felt like we had it? So
Kids already talk shit on people our age. They do, bro. Yeah. But I don't know, dude. They're kind of cool. That I feel bad for like really young people because they constantly having like phones and media, you know, because yeah, I don't know how old you are. We look around the same way. Okay, yeah, you know, back then phones still existed, but it wasn't so normal and so mainstream for it to be in everybody's face, you know. Because I think I must have been, I don't know, junior high or high school when iPhone really hit big. But before that, it was more regular. Like people were so plugged in all the time, and now, dude, everything's about what a video or a trend or something like that.
well, gee, it's just like, I don't know, our brains, like evolutionarily speaking, you're not designed to have instant stimulus for everything we need and access to all the information, like, right with us. Like, we were not designed to have that. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was addicting, dude. That is addicting.
Why would I want to get out of my bed when I could get all the good chemicals I need from my phone?
It is, dude. You know, like I'm not gonna name names, but certain kids I know, like I watch them play on their iPad or on the phone, and like the games they're playing just have to do with like, you know, pushing buttons, and there's so many colors, the little dings and lights of the things going up. It looks like you know, like slot machines or like gambling and stuff, because you know those are addicting too, and it's all about, you know, the lights and all this shit.
How they got you before the phones. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, and yeah, dude, it's just they design everything to be addicting, but especially for kids.
Yeah. Cooks your attention span, cooks just everything. Like I see this trend recently on social media about like dopamine detoxing where like people they'll call it raw dog me. I'm just gonna raw dog life for an hour. And they just sit there, no phone, no TV, nothing. And they record themselves the timer. And those like kind of fidget around like a time lapse and move around. And it's like interesting that we're at a point where we have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes your attention all short. Like, well, even and it's not kids, just kids. You know, even adults. Like, you know, if you be like scrolling for a long.
Try me all the time. That's the problem. If like,
yeah, that's right, dude. I get stuck too. Like just brain rotting and be like a lot of time had passed. I'm like, I can't stop. I know.
oh, so bad. Or how many times do you like pull out your phone to open up like Instagram for no reason? Like, well, what am I doing here?
Yes, I've done that.
Or you close it, open it right back up.
Hey, but you know what helps me is a couple of years ago I started wearing a watch, and this is not to flex with because this is not a nice watch. You know, this is from Walmart, but it's because like that way. Now I got so used to this is how I tell the time, you know, but I don't have to put my because if I go my phone out, instinct is gonna open it and look at shit.
Oh, I got notifications. Oh, what's this? Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm just like, dude, it makes me feel cool too. I'm like, What time?
It'd be so funny. I started wearing a watch, like a freaking Rolex. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Dude, I'm putting you on. You should do it. Get
Wow,
watch.
you put me on game. It might help me because there's a number of times you call your phone and you see something happen. And I feel like a lot of times because they're so smart, dude. They will like working in data analysis. It's actually you can find a lot of like scary things. Like it's kind of scary how easy you can find really interesting things about people and like their choices and like how they access your website. I can know how long they were on each page, where they came from, what they did, and it's just like
Yeah.
there's some interesting things. And so similarly, it's like, oh, he hasn't picked up his phone in a few minutes. Let's make sure we give him this kind of notification. So it's like if I'm on my phone all the time, I'll get different notifications than you not on your phone. They're gonna try to send you different notifications and send age. There is
It's
so much into it. There is so much that goes into it.
Yeah, it's crazy, but we could talk about like any topic we could talk about because I'm pretty sure our phones are listening, right? Like anything we talk about later, when you're on Instagram, you're gonna see some ads for something they're talking about. Well, actually, every time I talk about mental health or addiction, something like that, it's better help or you need therapy, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'll do this. I'll like top chat with my friends for a minute, and then if I pull my phone, I'd like keep looking at for what we were just talking about. It's like so funny. And you know why, dude? If because there's a lot of apps, like no one ever read the permissions like this except that would be app. You know that.
Yeah,
A
no,
lot of them say like make and manage phone calls.
yeah,
This is another way of saying like listen to your conversations, the keyword.
is that true?
Like, yeah, dude, like try it out on apps. So I remember all the time. I remember like some like freak like Fruit Ninja, I don't know, like some stupid game. Like allow us to make and manage phone calls for you. And if you don't say yes, you can't download the app. And so like that's actually how a lot of I don't know places make their money is by harvesting data from you. Yeah, and selling it to Instagram to give ads, and then we're selling it. I don't know. So there's a lot of apps. There's a lot of things that they made most of their money not from you buying stuff in their app, but from just collecting data on you and selling that data.
Yeah, it's like it's like a commodity, man. Yeah, it's like gold these days, but instead of gold, it's data points.
Yeah. Have you seen the show, the Social Network? I think is what it's called.
Yeah, but I probably was paying attention because I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Dude, it's like it's interesting. It's not like how the very first people came up with like the very first algorithms for social media and how they decided the way they did and stuff. And
Yeah,
they're like, oh, what have we done? But like one of the interesting quotes in there is like, if a product is free, that means you are the product. And it's like if there's an app that's free, if there's things out there that are free for you, that means you're the product. And the idea is like they're collecting data from you so they're gonna sell your data. It's so interesting.
like Facebook.
Like everything. Yeah. But yeah, Facebook, like anything that's free. Like it's free, use beta, free, use Instagram. They make a ton of money.
Yeah, and it's hard not to use it. Like if I didn't have a business, I'm gonna be okay with like logging off all social media. I don't need it really. But like Instagram really is the best way if you're a small business person to like market and advertise yourself for free.
Yeah, I know it's tricky. You have to have it to compete. Like you can't compete as a tattoo artist if you are on social media. Like how are you gonna get people? Like you keep, and that's how I think AI is gonna be too, dude. I think it's crazy. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna, I don't know, be a part of all these AI movement. Well, then, dude, you can't compete. Everybody else has a huge advantage over you. Like, imagine you don't have a smartphone right now. You're at a huge disadvantage in the world because you can't Google them. Right? It's like, you kind of have to compete. What's tricky is like, can you internally like control all these psychological ticks, man?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of the way it is.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think super good now. You're the man. Tell me, if there is only one thing you could let people know about you, what would you want that one thing to be?
Oh, I don't know. No one's ever asked me that question. Like, I don't. Well, everyone's really nice mostly. I don't like getting judged by the way I look, and most people are really nice. But you know, I'm aware that well, like, I don't know. I'm aware that like okay, before like a couple months ago, I cut my hair, but I had the last 10 years I had all the dreadlocks. So, and then combined with the face tattoos and the way I dress, I think I look a little bit menacing. And I'm not menacing, you know, I'm a nice person, but like I don't ever mind to judge by the way that I look, you know, I want to get taken serious and I take myself serious. So, and also like something I want people to know about me. Well, I keep bringing this up, but that, has to do with the, addiction and substance use, and just like, this is the one, like, I'm a prophet for this, tell people this, like, to take the shame away from, that, if you have that in your life,
Think the shame is it like be okay talking about it, be okay.
Yeah, because that will be the first step for you, if you know that, you're in a bad habit with drugs and alcohol, most people keep it secret, or they keep it secret as much as they can, because at some point it's obvious, so you might admit, oh yeah, dude, I'm just like a recreational user, it's fine, but secretly they're using a lot every day for a long time, and they've been doing that, and they know they're addicted, and I can't even tell you what that does to your self-esteem. It's so bad to be in years of drug addiction. It makes you feel so terrible about yourself. And you don't want to feel those feelings, and so you continue using, because when you're using or when you're drinking, you're avoiding those feelings, And it's just a cycle I get to where. So really the first step will be a to stop blaming yourself, or, pointing the finger at yourself, like, what the fuck is wrong with me, or something like that. Because it really is not your fault if you're dealing with that kind of problem,
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you for sharing that. And I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, actually, is tell me about your experience with, like, living here, and also, like you said, being judged by the way you look. Like, have you had experience? Tell us about some experiences, maybe positive or negative.
Yeah, okay. So most people are really nice, because I find that especially around here, if we were in any other big city, probably I'll just look normal. You know what I mean? Because there would be a lot of people looking more like me, expressing themselves.
Yeah, having face tats definitely stands out a lot more in Provo, Utah than anywhere else.
Yes. And yeah, I think mostly everyone's nice, but I had a couple times where, like, and I do a lot of walking, I take myself a lot of places by foot, and, like, someone moved to the other side of the sidewalk, and I got used to that would happen sometimes, but and then I would get in a bad habit, because I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. When someone's coming this way and I'm going that way, I move to the other side so that they don't cut a move, which is a bad habit, but mostly everyone's really nice, dude. I haven't really had anybody
Maybe a couple times, but yeah. How have you been able to overcome that mentally? Like seeing people treat it how you look, they cross the street to avoid you. Like how do you navigate that mentally?
bro, I'd be like,
It doesn't.
yeah, I'd be, because now these days I'm like more confident in myself. I don't really care what anyone thinks about me, Mostly, probably people don't think about you as much as you think they are. You're thinking about yourself a lot, being critical of yourself. So
True.
I'm not so worried these days at all what people think. Sometimes, yeah, I felt a little bit not uncomfortable, but walking here, I didn't want anyone to think, like, what's his business or something like that. I probably know what I was thinking of, but especially around beef parts, you see a lot of people looking like me.
That's true.
Like I said, in any other city, it would be normal. And like I told you, Provo is a little bit behind culturally. It's catching up, dude. It's a little strides, but
Yeah.
um,
Dude, that reminds me of a quote. It's like we suffer more pain in our mind than we do in reality. You said it's like we imagine things, so we like are way harder. Like, what did you spray say? You said like we think about ourselves more than people think about us. Like we're
yeah, you're all thinking like, I only know this because I've off and on had this in my head a lot. Like, oh, they fucking hate me, like, or they, not taking you serious, or like you get imposter syndrome, especially as an artist, because artists get imposter syndrome. Like, oh, they're laughing at me or something like that. Dude, I paint a lot. Like, besides tattooing, I do a lot of art. Maybe I do art more than tattooing, and a lot of times, well, not so much now, but before, when I was getting into painting, I was like, oh, dude, I don't even want to show this. Like, it looks like, because my art looks like what you see in the men's bathroom at a gas station. That's what my art looks like, dude. Like, kind of just splatter or some bullshit everywhere. And, I would think like, oh no, people are gonna laugh at me or something like that. But that's not really the case.
That's cool. Like I said, you're an artist because I feel like there's the technical ability side of being a tattoo artist. I'm sure. Then there's also like just like the mental side of like being an art, being a creative person, being able to like consult with people on how they want things to look and design. It's way cool. It's trying to make you good at what you do, bro.
Dude, I love it, man. Like, as far as tattooing itself goes, I think because I'm not like a super duper expert at tattooing, like what I can do, no one else can do. It's not true. Like probably anything you can get from me, most likely you can go as a walk into any other shop and get that tattoo as well. Like I have some tricks that I think are unique to me, but otherwise you can get the same thing at another shop. But I focus really hard on consultations, dude, and making people feel comfortable and being genuine with people. Like all those parts is what keeps people that they want to come back to you, because you're being real with them, you're being a friend, you're being honest with them, and people can sense that. I know. So I don't really think that like my tattoos are that extraordinary and that's why people come to me or something.
Do you think you'll stay in Utah? Do you think you might want to take your practice and learn how to stay?
Like I thought about that, but probably no, because I have a family, dude. Like I said, yeah. So I don't have any children, but I live with my girlfriend, who I've been with for a couple of years, and her kid, and then we have like cats and dogs.
Oh yeah,
So we kind of
harder to pick up the move all out.
yeah, and also my girlfriend has a house, and so like she doesn't have any plans to sell her house, anything like that.
Okay, cool.
I don't know, but yeah, dude. If I do, it's just a fantasy. Like, oh, I would like to go some other places. If anywhere, just Salt Lake, because the scene's a little more right there for tattooing. So maybe I would move to Salt Lake to tattoo, but probably staying here for the next little while.
Cool. Dude, man, where can people find you if they want to find you at this?
Like I told you, I'm plugging myself today, dude. This is my Instagram. It's at Just Tattoo Ricky. Just Tattoo Ricky. Yeah, and yeah, here I'll show you, dude, my shop page. Let's here at the bottom, ui.provo.
Also, both Instagram pages.
Yeah. So this is business since
UI Pro.
but yeah, for like you want tattoos, just message me at this way.
You go by Ricky, not Eric.
Some people call me Rick.
Okay, I was about to say you told me it was Eric, bro.
Yeah, my name is Eric on my
No, I know, but
that's Eric. All right, cool. Yeah, but it's like some barbers started calling me Ricky years ago, and it just kind of stuck. And then when I got to this, I used to work in a smoke shop. They were like, "Oh, so what do you want to go by?" And I was like, "Ricky."
yeah.
And actually, I think I like that name a little bit more.
Studying how the game spelled out. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you're the man. Appreciate you a ton. Thanks for
Surely, you appreciate it, James. This has been meet you.